Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com, and today I have for you a coloring video. This time I'm using one of CC Design's new releases for February 2017, and this is Rainbow Lucy, and she's ever so cute. Want to hear a funny thing? When I wave to you guys at the start and say, hi everybody, Jessie here, I actually wave in real life. I know I'm such a dork. Anyway, I'm starting with my darkest color, which is E23 for this image, and I'm just going in and adding everywhere where there will be a drop shadow or where I need a little bit darker around the edges to make it look a little rounded and all that kind of fun stuff, shaping out her knees a little bit. And this video is actually only sped up 2 times the original speed, so it's slower than most of my videos because it only took me about 25 minutes to color. Now, like I tell you guys in lots of videos too, if you're just learning or if you find yourself slower and you're worried about your ink drying on your paper before you get to the next color, do everything in sections. Color her head first, then do her arms, then do her legs. You don't have to do it all at once. You're supposed to be having fun. Relax. Take your time. Enjoy it. I'm going in with E11 and I'm blending out my darker colors. So what I do is I take that marker and I go all the way back to the stamped line and pull it forward, coming just slightly over top of my previous color. So everything's coming out further, but I am going back over top of everything previously in order to get a nice smooth transition between colors. I loved this release from CC Designs. If you guys haven't been over to the store to see what came out this month, pop down to my description box below. I'll have a link over to the store. Some of the 2 new Rustic Sugar ones, Umbrella Cinnamon and Cinnamon Pants, are fantastic. Love them. I love the 2 Roberto's Rascals. I love the other one that goes with her. The whole release was phenomenal. There's 6 images, a background stamp which is spotted. You'll see it in the picture at the end of the video of the card I did. I used it for part of the background. And a sentiment set. So it's a great little release. Love it. I always love them. They're fun. So I did E21. Now I'm going in with E51 and just continuing to go back into those darker colors. I'm not going all the way back to the stamped line now. I'm not quite as worried about that, but I'm going far enough in that I'm going to get a nice blend between all of my colors so everything transitions smoothly and I don't end up with any harsh lines. After I do my E51, this is when I go in and put in my blush color, so I'm going in and I'm using R20 for my blush on this image. And then I use my lightest color and blend everything out. I just find if I do it... Oh, I used R32. I used 2 colors for her cheeks this time. Alrighty then. I find that if I put the blush in and then go over with the lightest color, I don't have to go back through all of my markers again. I have a video coming up that you guys will see, but I have found that I'm using Copic Expressive Blending Card, which is the paper that Copic manufactures for their markers, and I love it, and I don't have to put multiple layers of colors on, usually. Most of the time I don't have to. I find that I did one recently that's coming up where I colored on Nina Solar White cardstock. I found that everything needed 2 coats in order to get my blends real smooth. So if you're using different cardstock, you may have to go over all of your colors more than once. So it all depends. You kind of have to play with the paper you're using and learn how to work with it. So now I'm starting on her hair, and I'm using 2 of the same colors that I used in her skin. So I'm using E50, and then I come in with E51. And this first color, I'm just starting everything off. When I do my hair, I work light to dark. Everything else, I usually go dark to light, just so I can get smooth transitions. Oh no, I lied. I'm not using the E's. This is why R31. But when I do hair, I find that I like to go light to dark so that I can work on leaving enough highlights in her hair and keeping everything streaky so that not everything blends out really nice, because I don't want it to be perfectly smooth and blended. So we'll just slowly, and every time I go in with a darker color, my strokes get a little bit shorter so that I work on leaving a nice highlight in the hair. I haven't used this hair combo in forever, so why R24? 24? Yeah, I think that's why R24. It's a tiny little screen that I'm looking at as I'm doing my voiceover, and if I did write down my colors, I don't have my book beside me that I write all my color combos in for all the images I do. I'm sorry. So you can see how I go through that. Now I have a nice bright bright highlight in the hair where the light would be hitting or where it bumps out from her head. And again, it's not rocket science, and if you find that light sourcing and figuring out where everything would be perfectly based upon a light source, don't. Just color. It's all going to look fine in the end. I mean, you wouldn't want to put the right side of her body deep in shadow and the left side of her face deep in shadow, but you don't have to be so worried about where your light source is. Work on getting your blends all nice and smooth and your transitions between color really seamless and your hair flicking down pat and all of that stuff before you start worrying about all the minute details of light sourcing and if the light source is here, which side would have a bigger shadow and all of that kind of stuff. People aren't going to notice that nearly as much as they're going to notice if you've got lines drawn around your face because you're not blending your colors together and that kind of stuff. So that's just my personal opinion. And you can take or leave my opinion. That's all up to you. So I'm going in with E37 and I'm just deepening up those shadows to make sure it's got nice, dark, rich shadows at anywhere the hair pinches together or goes behind her ribbon or her bow on her head or anything like that. So, wow, when I don't fast forward these videos as much as I usually do, I have a lot more time to talk. I'm not sure what to talk about. And if you know me in real life, it's not very often I'm at a loss for words. So that's it for her hair. And now I'm moving on to the yellow. So for the yellow, I'm going back in with the YR24. And I was really nervous at the start because I used this color in her hair. And I thought that, like, when I put it on the sides of her bow, I was really worried that I was going to lose the yellow ribbon in her hair to her hair and it was all going to look like one piece. But I just kept going and hoped it worked out, and thankfully it did. So I'm giving her a yellow dress and a yellow ribbon in her hair. And then there's going to be, like, I used the BV20 range, so they're like a purpley gray color for the other color on her dress and stuff. So now we go through with Y17, and again, I'm just going all the way back to the stamped line and slowly blending all of those colors out. Now I'm just taking my time. I'm in no hurry. I'm sorry my hand's in the way. I mustn't have been paying attention to where the camera was. Her little bows on her boots are yellow. Then I come through with Y15. This is my all-time favorite yellow combination. If you pay attention to the combos I write down, I change like my teals up and my blues up and my purples up and my pink. I use that RV20 range a lot, but I change a lot of those colors up a lot, and 99% of the time if I color yellow, this is the combination I use. It took me a long time to find a yellow combo I liked, and I love this one. Now, I can't promise I'll love it forever and it'll be the only one I use, but for a while now it's been one I've regularly been picking up. I had to order a Y11 refill yesterday because my marker is pretty dry. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to work on the pieces that are going to be that purpley gray tone, starting with her bow, and I'm using BV29 to mark in where all of my shadows are going to be. If you're worried that you're going to put a shadow where you're not going to want it after, I would recommend taking your lightest color in the color combination you're using and mapping it out. So everything I'm doing right now with this BV29, take a BV20 marker and map it all out so you know where your darkest points are going to be. And then you take your darkest color and start from there. I keep knocking that lid over. Then you take your darkest color and start from there. That way, if you put the shadow in a place and you decide you don't want it there, you don't have to recolor over it. You can take your darkest color and just skip it. And it's your lightest color, so that's where it's going to be when it's finished anyway. It's an easy way to start figuring out your shadows if you find it slightly terrifying, like I did when I first started with my Copics, to grab the darkest color in my combination and start putting it on the paper before I went to anything else. So BV25, and again all the way back to the stamped line to blend that out. Onto her boots. cat's stomach's growling. I can't believe I heard that from here. That or he farted. One of the two. Not really sure. He's laying on the couch. Anyway, BV23, and we're just blending that out. We got one more color to go, and our dark gray here is going to be finished. I love all these images so much. So much. If I could record, if I had time to record and edit everything I colored, I would. Although I've been thoroughly enjoying it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed regular coloring videos. I'm really hoping to keep up like at least 2 a week. I can't make any promises on that, though we all know I kind of fall off the bandwagon. But one would be wonderful. If I could keep to 1 a week, I would just be tickled pink. That would be 52 videos this year. Again, I make no promises. Now this is R89, and I'm going through and working on the hearts, I think. My big hand is in the way. I really need to pay attention to where the camera is. Yes, so we start with R89 and the top of the rainbow. And then R29 is our next color. Sorry if you could hear that. I was just grabbing the finished card with her on it. And then R24, and I'm just going to fill in the rest. I didn't go any lighter because I find if I go to an R22 or an R20, everything looks pink. Instead of it looking red at the end, it looks pink because those colors are so light and pale that they are pink. So now I went in with Y17 and Y13 for the yellow stripe on the rainbow, and Y17 and YG17 and YG03. And then the blue, I did B18. And I'm just doing the top and bottom of the rainbow there. You can see it with the blue really easy. And then I'm filling it in with B04. I didn't put the lid out for that. And now we just got the clouds to do and we'll be done. So I'm using W3, and I think I used W0 or W1 to blend them out after, and that's it. So you guys will see a picture of the finished card at the end. I'll have the link to my Facebook group where we're doing live color alongs once or twice a month, my blog, the CC Design Store, and all that fun stuff in the description box below. I'd love you to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't. Talk to you later. Bye!